on, Josephine. You have to get up. You have to help the children. No more wasting time right up in bed. Gotta get dressed, gotta get to work. Where's my jacket? Oh, my jacket. Me and this jacket sure have been through a lot. Surely we can fight this little cough. Maybe I'll just rest a little longer. You know, this jacket sure takes me back. But how about I take you back a little further? My name is Josephine Meeker. I was born 25 years ago, January 28th, 1857. Mama and Papa was raising us in Ohio when one day, Papa said he was going out on a journey. He said he was going to find us a good home. Utopia was the word he used. So he packed some food and some water and was on his way. A few weeks later, he came back and he said, "We're moving out." Mama was hesitant, but she agreed. So we packed the wagons and was on our way. We traveled along for what seemed like forever when we stopped in practically the middle of nowhere. I was already surprised, but my jaw dropped when he said, "We're here." I mean, I came from grasslands, rolling hills, big lakes, and then I hear we're living here? It was dirt everywhere. I mean, I was disappointed to say the least. But more people moved in and it grew on me. After we settled, there was a real warm day, and Mom said we could go play outside. So we hurried and went to go play for a real long time. Then, after we played, we came in and did our chores. We ate some supper and went to bed. The next day, George wasn't feeling too well. But we all thought with some rest he'd be better in a day or two. But he never did get better. Doctor said it was tuberculosis that got him. "He's in a better place with God," Papa said, trying to cheer us up. Papa was always talking about God, especially to the natives. Oh yes, the natives. We'll get back to them in a second. I finished high school in Greeley, then went back to Ohio for college. After I graduated from college with my physician's degree, Papa sent for me in a letter. He said that he had gotten a new job at the White River Agency up in the mountains, and there were some natives around, and he wanted me to help him to teach them about Christianity and farming. So I went over to help him, but Papa was like really forcing. He was never really a good people person, if you know what I mean. So I loved to ride horseback. I would ride up and down the streets, and one day I even joined in one of the horse races with the Ute tribe, and I kept up with the best of them too. But when Papa found out, let's just say he wasn't too thrilled. He didn't like that I was spending time and bonding with him. He told me I was there to teach and teach only. And I think after he found out that I was still hanging out with them, then he got mad and he went and plowed up the horse racing track. It started a big old fuss and Papa felt he needed to send for help. The natives got the wrong idea, and I'll never forget what happened after that. What started out as a warm sunny day turned into a horrid mess. It was sunny outside and Mrs. Price was next door with her children, Mary and little Johnny. They were doing the laundry when a native came by. He wanted to borrow some matches, so we let him borrow them and he left. After he left, it grew so silent. It seemed really suspicious, and it just stayed silent for like 5 minutes or so. You could hear someone drop a tack from a mile away. Out of nowhere, bam! A gunshot. Bam! 2 more. Mrs. Price and her children ran into our house and hid in the kitchen with us. We stayed there for a little while when in staggered Frank Dresser. He yelled, "Run! You can't stay here! It's not safe!" So he went back out to fight, and we went through the back and headed towards the milk house a couple yards away. We stayed in there through intervals of shooting. I stacked some milk and bread jars in the window so they couldn't see in. I locked and bolted the doors, and we stayed there for a real long time till sunset, when we started to smell smoke. It got so thick you could barely breathe. So I undid the door and we ran. We ran to the brush a few feet away. Mama got shot in the leg, slowing us down, and the Utes caught up to us. They took Mama, Mrs. Price, and her kids captive, but a warrior named Pursuam took me, and he protected me in his own way. He gave me this, when it was still a blanket. I stayed there for 23 days, about, when we were rescued by a man who had worked at the White River Agency with Papa. He took us home, and everyone kept asking me things and assuming. I mean, it was just also overwhelming, so Ralph offered me a job back east. I took it, and, oh yes, my job. Oh, I better get going, the children. Maybe I'll feel a little better tomorrow. I hope they're not waiting. I'm gonna go back to sleep, but before I go, are there any questions?